The super chat here said, Tom, at what point do you turn to Klopp out? As I'm seeing people saying it's maybe time now. How much worse does it have to get for Liverpool? Let me reframe that question. Do you feel like Klopp has to at least be given a season under the new owners?
No, I don't think I don't, because I think if he gets a season under the new owners and then we're in the same position, the experiment can't work. This is a manager who is supposed to be the elite of the elite, and he has been for the past 5, 6, 7 years, elite of the elite. But what we're at now is a point where I need my manager to prove what we pay him for. We gave him a new contract 8 months ago, where he got everything he wanted. He got more power. He got more control over the decisions we made. You know how earlier you said Fergie started to pull away when he got older so he didn't get burnt out? My manager started to take control of aspects he didn't need to take control of. He's now in control of the transfers. He's probably in control of what the players eat in the dining room. Why? We had a successful system going. So if anything, you'd start to give other people within the club more control over that. But no, my manager's taking control of it. The worst part about him is he's kept saying he wants to go. So he said 2022 will be me last year. No, 2024 will be me last year. No, 2026 will be me last year. At some point, I'm just going to say no, go. Because I'm seeing people say, he said he wanted the new contract after 2026. We are Liverpool Football Club. We're not Jurgen Klopp FC. There is a football club after Jurgen Klopp goes. And for me, yes, before Jurgen Klopp came in, we were crap. That's fine. But Jurgen Klopp has come in and done his job. His job was to get Liverpool back to being successful. He doesn't deserve a divine right to put us back in the position we were in before him. So if he gets to the point where we are simply not good enough and it's on the manager, he's gone. Let's not act like he's untouchable. Let's not act like he can do no wrong. Because that is where other clubs have went wrong in the past. Being too loyal. At some point, I just love him and let him go. Let him go and do what he needs to do. But I can't do this anymore. I can't sit there and watch us go back to what we were before because of our own mistakes, because of our own negligence, because it's just criminal considering where we were a year ago.
Mate, listen, I completely hear you. And I think that you have to challenge it. You have to question it. You have to ask those questions. And I think that's what's really key. Asking the questions is the most important element, because the world's very hyperbolic, and it's why are you questioning Klopp? That means you hate him. Are you being ungrateful for what he's done? No, you are a Liverpool fan, not a Klopp fan, and you have to make the challenges. The manager needs the challenges because everybody needs to be kept on their toes. That's the way high-level business, high-level sport, high-level education works. Everybody's got to be kept on their toes, you know. And I think when you start to let standards slide and let things drop, that's where mistakes will start to happen. And certainly, he's been given more power at the club. Liverpool fans are educating me on that. He's making those mistakes. He's clearly making mistakes. The irony in it is this: Jurgen Klopp's a great manager, but the art of management is delegation. And you don't need. Do you think the CEO of Barclays Bank knows how to run every department of the bank? No. What he'll do, we've got a legal department. We'll get the best legal minds that we can to run it. You get the compliance department. You get the best compliant-minded people in. You know, you've got the sales teams and the acquisition teams. You get the best people doing that job. You don't run it all. You delegate and hire. Okay, the right doctors, the right physios, the right recruitment team. And you may have a final say, but the final say has to be based on the education that you get from those specialists in that position.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, just maybe, there's no coincidence that since Michael Edwards is gone, Liverpool have slowly regressed. Now,
you don't even need that. The last 6 months have been a shambles. We haven't had a club doctor until a month ago. Our director of football, who we spent 3 years training up to be in this position, it was his dream job. We were moulding him, perfect time and everything. He's now gone after 6 months because our manager has usurped him at every major decision. We were successful because we had the best in-house work. We had the best recruitment strategy. We had the best doctors, so we could ensure that players could push beyond what we thought the limits were. We had the best in-house staff, and the moment we got successful, we cut it off and gave all the credit to Klopp. The man himself has come in on his first day in the job and said, I'm not the one who will be successful, everyone else will be, because I can't do everything. But now he's trying to do everything. At some point, someone needs to sit down and go, no, it's not happening. You have to go and be a manager. And even I also believe that the coaching staff, I do believe that Pep Linders believes he's beyond us. I do. Not in terms of the size of the club, but in terms of his role. He's ready to go on and be a manager. You can see how much of an influence he's got on this team, which is great if he was the manager. But right now, it's like two heads clashing. I don't know what style, I don't know what team I'm watching. I don't know if I'm watching a Pep Linders team or if I'm watching a Klopp team. And I should be watching a Klopp team. I should be able to comfortably say my manager's in charge of the team that plays. But no, it's like he's the director of football and Pep Linders is the manager. We are a shambles from top to bottom. And whether that changes with new ownership or not, I don't know. But it has to change. We have to go get the best in class and director of football, whether that's Paul Mitchell, who's at Tottenham, and there's been rumours that we'll get him. If he comes in, Paul Mitchell decides the transfers, not Jurgen Klopp's eye test, not him sitting there watching Darwin Núñez tear us apart at Anfield and going, that's my signing, and turning down the likes of Nkunku, turning down all these other players that our scouting staff have recommended because Darwin Núñez had a good 90 minutes against us at Anfield. There is data behind this, and data is what got you to the top. Why have we changed it? Why have we regressed? Why have we turned back as a football club? What is the reasoning? Because that is the most confusing part to me. We were on top, and it's not like other clubs have jumped up above us. We've brought ourselves down. We've dragged ourselves down to behind other clubs. Yeah. Tottenham haven't all of a sudden went on leaps and bounds and, jumped us. I think the only teams that have jumped us are Arsenal. And that's it. I think United are close to. But we've dragged ourselves down by sheer stupidity. And that's not going to change for the rest of the season. I'm expecting to see 4-3-3 for the rest of the season and shit games like this again and again and again. Like,
yeah, mate, I wouldn't be.
We'll finish bottom off. We'll finish bottom off. 100% we'll finish bottom off.
I don't know if you'll fall that low, but it's your, in all comps this year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's your 9th defeat. But you also got to throw into that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 draws as well. But you look at the weight of wins. Like you had a run of 3 wins on the bounce in all comps back in October. You then won 4 on the bounce in November in the lead up to the World Cup. But since that return, your last 10 games, 4 defeats, 2 draws, 3 wins. It's getting worse. And you look at your next 5 games, away at Wolves, should win, but they've been a little bit better under Locatelli. You then got the Merseyside derby, which you would expect to win at home. You always do. But then you're away to Newcastle. You play Real Madrid, away to Palace, and then at home to Manchester United.
Loss.
And by the way,
I can't sit there and say they're wins.
By the way, think about this legitimately. Man United are in good form. We don't know where we'll be then. We're taking it a few games at a time, but we're in really good form. We're on the rise. By the time we play you on the 5th of March at Anfield, that could be a game where if you don't get good results in the build-up to that, it could be a game where maybe not mathematically, but your season ends from a top 4 position. And imagine Man United from where we were last year to where you were, ending your season in March and stopping you from making top 4. You've got 3 or 4 days in the market. You guys have got to go and get a midfielder. You need some legs in that midfield. Putting that pressure, holding midfield is like, do you know how many top class players have there been at Bajcetic's age that could run a midfield? I don't know the last time I ever met one.
It's such a hard thing to do.
Attacking players and fullbacks at that age typically can do it. Centre backs, midfielders, it's a much harder role. Even strikers like centre forwards have to hold the ball up. Those roles, experience is key. And like the way he's been thrown out there as well, it's a bit like lambs to the slaughter. But listen, mate, I appreciate you coming on, Tom, and having your say. And I'm sure we'll chat again soon. Top man. Thank you very much indeed.